Good afternoon, one and all. Today we are going to know the finance module in detail. This webinar is completely dedicated to the finance module. So we'll be starting up with the dashboard. This is the dashboard that we see on logging on to a credentials provided. Then once we go to the finance icon, we see these number of items available. So to start up with, we would be doing the fees item first. On clicking into the fees, you would come to know that you have uh, a complete a complete page to deal and manage the fees of your own institution. So let us start the whole thing by creating fees for some of the batches. If you want to have a category, or you can say it a master category for a particular batch, all you need to do is just go to the create category link and click on the link. So this link would open up a light box, as you can see this. So here all you need to do is just type the name of the master category. Let us say that I call it category 1, and the description can be or cannot be opted to given. And now I have to make the selection on which batch this needs to be operated upon. So let us say that I have a batch called UKGB 2013. So on clicking onto this batch would be selected. So category 1 now will be available for UKGB 2013. So in this particular category, you can opt to or you cannot. In this particular category, you can just go on and create particulars into it, which is the next step of the fees. So once the category is created, as we have created category 1 under the in UK for UKGB 2013, which can be available here. So now once the category is created, all you need to do is just stuff particulars into that category. So particulars can be something like the sports fees, the computer fees, the academic fees, etc. So let us have a academic fees particular, and then the description can be, or you cannot opt to have it. And here you have an option of create using an all admission number or student category. If you click on all, which is as by default, so this particular that we are going to create under this category will be available for all the students in the batch. But if you opt to have the admission number, then only the students with that particular admission number would be having that particular. And again, we have something called the student category. So as we have divided students in different category, so you can make a particularly for a particular student category. So let us do it with all, and the academic and the amount that we need to fill up is, let us say it's 500, and create. So this creates the particular inside the category 1 UKGB 2013 batch. If you want to stuff more into it, so you can also do it by repeating the process again. Let us say that you want to do something like this sports fees. You want to do something with like this sports fees, and an amount of 200, and the name of the category to which the particulars are being added. And on clicking on the create, you would see that there are two particulars, the master fees in the master fees that we have created. So again, if you want to create some kind of discount, you can go to the create discount link and select the type of discount you want to give. So we have provided three kinds of discount type: the batch, the student category, and the student. So if the discount type is particularly for a particular batch, then you can click that and type the discount amount and follow up. And again, if you have the student category, you can just need to select the student category. And further, if you want to create a discount for a particular student, then you can also do so by putting up the admission number of the student. So as we are trying to create this discount for the whole batch, I need to just go on selecting the I need to just go on selecting the batch discount type, then the name opted. Let us say that I am going to create it as something called special discount, and the category opted is category 1. The batch to which it is applicable is UKGB 2013, and the discount, further the mode that you can see is of two types, the percentage and amount. So if you want to put the percentage, let us say that I want to put a percentage of 10% for this particular batch, then I can also do so by clicking the percentage checkbox here. Now all the discounts has been created for that particular batch. Now if you want to view the discounts, you can also do so by going to the view discount link on the right, and then selecting the batch in which you want to view the discount, and then the fees category you have created. As we've created the special discount, so you can see that discount of 10% will be given to this particular batch. So this is how we can deal up with the creation of master fees, the discount creation, and the stuffing of particulars into the particular category. Now we would know how to collect the fees from the students. So when creating the fees collection, we have two options here: the create fee collection and view. The create fee collection, in the create fee collection, you need to just create a fee collection date, like some kind of the start date and end date for a particular fee category. So let us say that you have category 1, which is to be affected, which is to be which is to come into play, and the collection name can be termed as the August collection, and I'm putting it here to it. The start date and the end date and due date can be entered, and then once this is created, this would be available in the calendar of the student's event. Today's date was created with August College, so when I am hovering onto this particular day red mark, I can see that if fees due for August College 2013 is showing up. So this is how we can see it in the calendar itself. So once the fee collection due is created, now it's time to pay the fees of different students or view the fees of different students. So let us say that I have selected a batch and the collection type is August call, and so this would be the fee amount of money that a student is to pay. Why? It's 500 plus 200, and the discount should be 70. As we've entered a 10% discount, so the system has calculated it automatically as 70 rupees, $70. Moreover, if you want to change the currency to from dollars to your own currency, then you can also do it by using this general settings. Please note that this has to be done prior to everything, so that you can have the proper track of things. So on clicking on the general settings, you can change the currency type of this. So now if you want to submit the fees of student, you can do it by two ways: the fee submission by course as well as the fee submission for each student. So fee submission by course will give you the list of all the students. Let us say that this is the batch, so this would be giving you all the students, say Sandeep, and then click on going to the right, you would be having the list of students who need to pay. And if you want to pay it here itself, you can do so. Let us say that I'm paying the money for Sucheta, and to do that I'm doing pay fees. Once the pay fees is clicked, fees paid would be coming up on the particular students fees page, and this would uh, not let her to be in the defaulters list. So we have something called the defaulters list for a particular course and for a particular fee collection date. So after she has paid the money, her name would not be coming in the defaulters list as expected in a general scenario. Moreover, if you want to do the fee submission for each student, you can just go on, type the name of the student and the fee collection date, and you will be seeing the page and with the detailed list on how much money is to be paid and all. So this was all about the fee collection, the fee submission, and the fee structure. Fee structure gives you the normal structure of every student. Let us say that if you want to see the fee structure of Sindhu, you can just type her name and click the fee collection and see the fee structure there itself. You can even have a PDF report of the same. So let us again go to the fee defaulters part. As I mentioned it earlierly, fee defaulters helps you to know the defaulters of a particular fee collection date in the batch. So when you see the link, when you click the link of the fee collection, so you would be seeing all the persons in the batch who have not paid the money yet. So Sucheta has paid the money, so here her name is not in the list, but the others who have been coming up in the list means that they have yet to pay the fees. So even you can pay the fees from here itself. Then we have the fee imports part. Let us say that if you want to change the fee collection of a particular student or a particular batch, you can do so by this is the list of all the fees that are to be paid, and the as per this collection date by Mr. Janki Ram. So once you uncheck this, so this would be not coming into effect while paying the fees. Instant fees, we have something called instant fees here, where you can manage this some kind of immediate fees for a particular instant. Let us say that if your institution needs some funding from the students, let us say that you are organizing a fun fair and you need to add some different set of fees apart from the regular fees that the students have been paying. You can just create a category and add particularly into it, and this would be coming up in the instant fees of the students. So this is how the instant fees and the fee, everything about fees work. Now we will be moving upon the rest part of the finance module. The finance module has the category link where you can manage the different categories here. So if you want to create a new finance category apart from the one that is available, you can do so. Here I'm creating two categories, one which would be under income and one which would not be under income. So let us start with a category name called So if you have an institution and if you want to rent up the school ground, then it comes definitely under income, so it would be clicked income, and you can fill up the description part of it and then create it. As this is under income, it would be showing in an income part. But if you want to create it as an expense, you can also do so by not clicking this checkbox, and just click on the name of the expense and create category. So this would be handy when you will be adding transactions into the system. Now we would become moving upon to the transactions part of finance. So to go to the transaction part, you need to just click on the transactions, which is the third part of the finance module. Then on clicking on the finance transactions, you have four types of links here: the add expense link, report link, add income link, and the compare transactions link. So if you want to add a new expense, as you've created different categories here, so you would be seeing the different categories coming up. Let us say that you have a new expense called exp1, and the amount would be something like $200, as dollars is the currency that you've opted for. Then all you need to do is just select the category. Let us say that you select the three kinds of, we have three kinds of category here: inventory category 1 and expense 1 to 3. So on clicking onto the same, I need to select, and this would be under which expenses. Let us say that it comes under expense 1 to 3 that we created just now, and clicking on the save will create this expense. Further, if you want to see the list of all the expenses, then you can click onto the right link on the expenses and you can select the date. Let us say that we select a date January 2012, date 1, and this. So on clicking onto this, you will see all the expenses which are to be paid by the institution from a particular date to another date. So similarly, you can add the income also. Similarly, we can add income of some other category transaction. Then if you want to see the report of two transactions, or if you want to see the report of a particular transaction from one period to another period, but the transaction involves the every expenses and the incomes, then you can do so by clicking on to this particular date. Let us say that you want to see the transactions of January 2012 1 till today. So on clicking onto the display report button, you would be seeing all the transactions that has occurred from then till now. This would give you a statistical as well as the graphical report. So this was all about the reports part of it. Now we can just go on, see the compare transactions part. Let us say that if you want to compare transactions of two different periods of your institution, then you can just click on to the particular date from which the two periods are need to be entered. Let us say that you entered the part 2012 to January 1 2013, and again January 2002 till today. So this would give you the graphical and the statistical report of the two eras that you have entered. So this would be this would be your transaction shift, or you can monitor the transactions of two different parts from this graph. So this is how the transaction part works. Now we can quickly move upon the donations part. Let us say that if you have some kind of donors to your company, to your institution, then you need to keep the track record of all the donors that has arrived and that has donated some healthy amount of money into your organization. So to do so, Fedina comes up with this facility called donation. Here you can add a new donation. Let us say that we have a institution called for technologies, and this is the institution who want to give you an amount, give the institution an amount of 200, and on clicking onto this you would be able to see the receipt printing option, where you can also print the receipt and give to the particular donor company. And then if you want to see the list of all the donors, then you can just click on donors part and see all the persons who have donated till now. Now we would be moving upon the automatic transactions part. Automatic transaction part is a feature where you can create the automatic transactions in your system. Let us say that if you want to have a healthy amount of percentage that is to be deducted from every transaction. Let us say that you have some kind of tax, cess or some kind of tax for every transaction, then you can just create a 5% amount which can be deducted from the transaction that you have that has come. I have created here donation 5% and the application registration 5%. So this would deduct an amount of 5% each from. So this would create a 5% each in application registration and donation too. Now we would be knowing more about the much awaited payslip part of the finance module. So to know payslip part, just click on the payslip icon here, and you can see how the payslip are to be approved or rejected for a particular employee. Let us say that you have from the HR part, the HR has created a new payslip for a particular employee. Then you can just view the payslip of that employee and take the decision of whether approving him or rejecting him. Once you have approved for the student, for all the persons in that particular, as here we can see Laxman, who is an employee. His salary has been his payslip has been increased to 14,300 net salary payslip. So if he goes to this part and clicks onto the view, so this would be the payslip. Supposingly the HR has some other payslip that is to be created, then he can just apply for the payslip, and it is up to the person who's in charge of the finance who would be approving it or rejecting the payslip created. Now we have one-click payslip monthly payslip approval. So let us say that if you have some kind of payslips where you need to do it monthly wise. In a normal scenario, we have the monthly payslip generation. So to do that, you can just go to the particular month and click up. So if this is already approved, then you will get a button called already approved. If it's not, then you will get a button called approve. This is how the payslip works in Fedina. Next, we will be moving upon the asset liability management available in Fedina. Asset liability management is a part of the a place where you can manage the assets and liabilities in your institution. So let us say that if you want to have a record of all the assets, you can just go to assets and create or view the particular assets available. So assets may include the bank details and all, and moreover, if you want to you want to create an asset, you can also do so. Let us say that you want to create an asset called the Axis Bank account details, Axis Bank balance. With the account number in, you can just type the amount of money that you have, and then clicking the save button. Once you click the save button, you will be able to see it in the view part. So this was all about the assets. Now again, if you want to put a liability of things, so suppose if your institution is funding some blind school or orphanage, then you can create a liability under, let us say that funding for PH, funding for PH. On clicking on the funding for PH part, you can just go on and type the amount called the save, and on view part you can also see the liabilities associated. So this is how the assets and liabilities can be wisely managed using Fedina. Next we have something called the Tally Export, as this is a different plugin, so we will be dealing up with in the add-on modules part of our a coming subsequent webinars. So this was all about the finance module. So we would be now quickly moving upon to the queries asked. Please put forward a queries if you have any.